Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Shad.
And we continue the second Tuesday sequel.
Yeah, we got to come up with a snappier name for it than that. But on the second Tuesday, we're going to cover the second movie of a horror franchise.
And this week, we're covering Warlock, Armageddon.
All the signs are now in place.
Warlock is here.
The son of Satan has returned to fulfill his destiny.
What dost thou command?
There are 5 stones like the one she wears. You must possess them all.
He has 6 days to seek out the stones of power.
Who the hell are you? I'm interested in this stone. It's not for sale. I never said anything about buying.
And hold destruction
Picasso. Definitely Picasso.
in the palm of his hand.
Tomorrow, everything is gonna be destroyed.
I've come for the stone.
There's only one way to stop a warlock.
You mean like I have to fight? I can't even fight the school bully.
A chosen few stand between him and his quest.
Who am I?
A second warrior.
Get this stone as far away as possible.
They must destroy him
That's the best you can do!
before he destroys creation.
Ride's over.
But to conquer the Warlock,
Our betrayals, partners.
they must face the ultimate fear.
You look so tough now, do you, Blondie?
Julian Sands,
It is time.
Warlock, the Armageddon.
It's like Julian Sands was like made for this role.
Yeah, I don't really know if they could find... Well, they tried with Warlock 3 to find someone else, and there's no Warlock 4, so I guess that tells you how that worked out.
So, crazy thing, a couple of months ago, I was bored, and I was like, let me just throw some random movie on. I put on Warlock 3, started watching it, think I finished it? I don't remember.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign. Literally forgot about it until we were scrolling in TV when it does like the recommendations after we saw Warlock 2, and that one came up, and I was like, oh shit, I saw that movie.
Yeah, that's what kind of impression it makes on you.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I saw it as well back... Like, I probably rented it when it came out, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it other than... like 10 minutes in when I was like, oh, there's no Julian Sands in this. Well, this is going to suck even more than I thought. So yeah, Warlock 2, or Warlock 2, The Armageddon.
Yeah, Warlock 2, The Armageddon. Directed by Anthony Hickox.
Yes.
Or Hickox, who has done some movies that we have covered. Well,
yes.
we've covered at least one of them.
Waxwork and Waxwork 2.
Yes, he probably shouldn't be taking credit for Waxwork 2, but yes, both of those. Hellraiser 3.
Yeah.
And some other shit there. It's some other terrible movies, no offense.
Well, yeah. I didn't realize he had directed this one at first until there's a part in it where there's a special cameo by Zach Galligan, who looks exactly like he did in Waxwork 2. And I'm like, oh, he must have just popped over and filmed this at the same time.
And then the girl who's in the film, the supporting actress, Paula Marshall. Well, I'm saying that like 3 times. I guess he's like one of those like works with the same people. She was in Hellraiser 3. So apparently, she did a good job. And he was like, hey, I have another job for you. I need to be in a Hellraiser. Don't know who the fuck she's in the movie. I'm going to assume that she's the either lead actress in the film.
No, the lead actress in that one's Terry Farrell from Deep Space Nine that played Dax.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that was her claim to fame before Star Trek, was being the lead in Hellraiser 3.
Wow. Well, this movie has our favorite Warlock returning, and...
Oh, he returns all right.
With the birth scene that will leave you feeling icky? Sticky?
A little weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's intense. But if, you've seen the first Warlock movie, you're gonna see some shit because he does some crazy stuff in both films.
Yeah, so this one I love. It starts off like back in the Dark Ages, which I kind of thought that didn't they kill the Warlock, and if they had killed him in the past or they killed him in the future, so how is he still in the past from the first one? This is one of those ones you can't think about the time travel too much or you'll just go crazy.
Every 600 years, there's an opportunity for the Warlock to come back so that he can bring the devil to Earth. So every 600 years, it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. The fucking, like, the moon and the planets have to align. It's like one of those stories where it has to just be just right. And then boom, here comes fucking Julian Sands in his black suit and like slick back blonde hair.
What I love on this one is at the beginning of it, it's like 600 years ago and they're fighting in this place is England, you assume? And there's like Stonehenge looking monuments everywhere, and then when they're having their battle in the present time, they appear to be in the same spot, which looks like it might be the back lot of the studio somewhere. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen everything in that lot. I know for a fact it was on an episode of Deep Space Nine where they were on the holodeck. So I'm pretty sure it's the back lot of like Paramount or one of them.
Yeah, it's an order of druids that are gonna murderfy this like virgin woman that they have like tied to like a rock. Because she is supposed to give birth to this thing, the thing being Julian Sands, and they were gonna kill her to stop it.
We assume
with the ruins that they need. That's his whole point in the movie. He's
got these little rune stones.
Yeah, he comes back and he has to find all the rune stones and join them all together. And then at that moment, that's when he's able to unleash the devil. Because the devil likes gems?
Yeah, he likes to be fancy.
The devil doesn't like Prada. He likes gems.
Yep, he likes to be fancy devil. But I love how he comes back is the woman suddenly goes into like labor and spits like a ugly, gnarled looking placenta out of her vagina across the room that suddenly grows into Julian Sands. She is in a pool of blood like the size of a small studio apartment, crawling around in the blood, and she seems pretty good to have lost that much blood. I mean, she can crawl around pretty good. She's no problem screaming, hollering.
I mean, she gave birth to someone, so that's like normal for there to be that much blood.
But is it normal for her to be that unaffected by it, though? Not a lot of women give birth, and they're like, well, I think I'll just run down to the market now.
First of all, we all know that she did not run. And we all know, the people that have seen this film, she barely is able to fucking, like, crawl to the bathroom, which is, like,
when suddenly 10 feet away. Bathroom,
10 steps away, I meant to say.
When in the bathroom, though, suddenly she can spring up on her feet and lock the door. It's like, what? If you could spring up then, why couldn't you spring up and run your ass away from, crazy Julian Sands?
It's a long distance, and they're in a high rise, and the elevator, is not going to be working. It's the eclipse. Who knows what's going on outside? There's crazy shit going on. She just gave birth to a fucking demon man baby.
My favorite is when she's trying to, like, do Lamaze breathing when she's giving birth to the thing. She's like, you giving birth to the devil. I don't think that's going to help.
Wow. It's important to keep the breathing going.
Yeah, this is where I get all judgy and weird about that. I'm like, you're giving birth to the devil. I don't think he cares about your,
That's Hitchcock's issue. I'm sure the director was like, you're in labor, so I'm going to need to see some labor breath work. Lamaze was very big at this time. Well, it's actually have been going on for a while, since the 80s, right? So we're in the early 90s now. So it's all the rage. Everyone's doing it. And she's like a fancy... I want to say like she was in Manhattan, but...
Yeah, they were in... I believe they were in New York.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that she's in New York because it's like... She has like the little fancy fucking apartment. It's all artsy. She's into the occult, I'm going to assume. Because she has some very occultish wares and... down to the table, like the furniture.
Yeah, this is a weird looking apartment, even for New York standards.
She does have the amulet, or one of the gems.
Yeah, so that got her to give birth to, grown-ass Julian Sands.
Yeah, who like screams like a baby, and the
It's
glass.
my favorite part is where he's like, wah, wah. How do you do that with a straight face?
And then she's dead.
Yeah. She's out. She's gone.
So this movie was like $3 million, like $3.9 million, and it made $3 million. So they barely made it out.
Yeah, that's why 3 went straight to video, I'm guessing. But so then after we see, Julian Sands' birth. Well, Julia Childs would have been a scary fucking thing to see him come out of there after him. I'm Julia Childs. I'm here to give birth to the devil. But anyhow, we cut over to some people out in California who, it's the typical nerdy kid that's getting picked on by the bullies. And then we see his dad can apparently control things. He makes the sprinklers come on and chase the bullies away. And now this is the craziest shit ever to me, is that like he's going to be the chosen one that's going to fight Julian Sands to stop him from summoning the devil. But in order to do that, his father has to kill him and then use magic to bring him back.
It's that whole like, you're in this. It's that weird. This happens sometimes, and like those kind. Yes.
Sometimes you just have to kill your kid and bring him back to
life.
Like
the seventh son of the seventh son. So like he was not the one that was destined to do it. It was like his next life. So they kind of like jump started the next life because that's what was supposed to happen, like destined to happen. So he had to kill him to come and bring him back, because then he was going to be changed and immediately have the powers within him because the powers weren't activated. I mean, I totally get it. I just don't know why you're not getting it. I have to say it's one of my favorite movies to watch, like when I was a teenager, because I had seen it like randomly on TV, like on a Saturday, like those afternoon movies. And I was like, oh yeah, this movie's pretty cool. And seen it many times. I would love to freaking see this movie remade. Actually, my numbers were wrong. It made $3.9 million. It cost $3 million. So they got a little bit of a return.
So that paid for Julian Sands right there.
Yes, that all went to Julian Sands. Half of it went to the suit. The other half went to him.
But, yeah, I don't know. This is one of those movies that when you saw it when you were younger, it seemed really cool and awesome. But then when you watch it now, you're like, oh, this is probably not as cool as I remember it.
I don't know. I think the deaths are cool. I have a fondness for it because it's just one of those. And then, like, tell me another movie that has a warlock in it. That's like a horror movie.
There's not a lot of them. Most of them are witches.
They're all fucking witches, and I'm
this
like,
is one of those things where the men are falling behind. Oh. We've got to get more warlock representation out there.
I wish they would make a warlock movie. This would be a great movie to be remade because it would have the CGI in it, which this movie has like the beginnings of that
bad 90s CGI,
which is really terrible. And
the stones at one point when they're floating in the air remind me of like a commercial, like a local commercial you would see for like, come on down to the carpet wizard, and there's like carpets flying around the building. It's like that kind of level of effects.
The effects are pretty low, but like the whole story of like these, I mean, we're gonna get away ahead of ourselves, but these like two kids that have to like battle the odds, and they're like, fucking grew up in a small town. It has like a Footloose vibe because, the dad who's the pastor or the reverend or whatever, he knows that he comes from a family of fucking druids that have like prophesized that every 600 years this shit's gonna happen, and they're supposed to, protect these damn gems. And also their kids are gonna have to be the ones that end up fighting him. I don't know. I would like to see that. It would be pretty dope, I think.
Yeah, this would be one of those ones if they remade it and put a little bit better thought into everything and a little bit better effects, or just cut down things that needed effects, It's like, stop remaking movies that are classics like Black Christmas and Halloween, and pick out these like movies that had some potential but it didn't really go anywhere,
and just really just run with it and just make it better, because it's like no one's really 110 invested in this movie. They're not gonna be like, oh, they're fucking remaking Warlock 2, terrible. No one's gonna say that. Like, I would think people would be like, Warlock, oh, what the hell is this? I don't know, because half of the people have never seen this film.
Yeah, this would be a good one. You do remake 1 and 2. So I don't know why they don't do more horror movies. Like, you occasionally see them like they did Lord of the Rings or and like The Hobbit and some of those, where they're like, oh, let's just do all of them back to back. I want to see a horror trilogy done like that, where they're like, we're going to get all the people, we're going to lock them in for 3 movies and do all 3 of them at the same time. That'd be great to see something like that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Do like a remake of the Warlock. If you're going to talk about that, do something like that. Redo Warlock 1 and 2 to shoot them at the same time.
There are some very recognizable people in the film. And recognizable if you've seen a lot of 80s, 90s films. Steve Kahan, is that what we would say? Kahan? Kahan. It's Kahan. He was in all the Lethal Weapon 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, he was the boss in all the Lethal Weapon movies.
Then he was in Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah, with Mel Gibson, so he must have been friends with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he was in actually all of the Lethal Weapons.
Yeah. So
he's a Lethal Weapon. Assassins? What the fuck is that?
What?
Assassins with Stallone.
Oh, that's the one with Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone from like the mid-90s.
Yeah, 1995. That's crazy, right? This movie came out in 1993, and I mean, you could totally tell it's a 1993 film because it just looks.
First of all, when they go to the gas station, gas is $1.02, and
you're like, that's not real.
Like, no, we need to go back to that time and let me buy $1,000 worth of gas right now. That way I'll have 1,000 gallons. That'll last me a while.
1,000 gallons. That'll last you 2 weeks because you drive so much.
I also love the fact that at one point, well, let's talk about the skin map. In order to track down where all the stones are at, Julian Sands does this thing over the woman that gave birth to him, where he just like gets a map of the U.S. that looks like a very crudely drawn U.S. map that appears on her skin, and then he just cuts it off of her and carries the skin map around with him that's got like a little, looks like blood line giving him the directions on where to go. So he first, drives around in a cab that the cab driver he kills, and then has his like zombie driving him around. And when he gets tired of that, he just decides he'll just steal the General Lee from the redneck at the gas station. It's the exact same looking car as the General Lee, except it has like 06 painted on it instead of 01. He steals that after he just drinks all the blood from the guy like a vampire, which I was confused about. I was like, is he a warlock or a vampire? Because I'd never heard a lot of witches drinking blood before. Not like that.
No, not really. It's one of those things like, okay. But then again, like, he's like a demon-esque witch, so who knows. But they do have, in that scene, there's a Witches of Eastwick whole, like, thing, because in Witches of Eastwick, in the ending, if you have never seen this movie, spoiler alert, the witches, who I'm not going to say who they are, but the women gather together and they want to punish Jack Nicholson and get him out of their lives. So they each do a different spell, and the spell with a voodoo doll, and that affects him. So they kind of have the same thing. So in this scene, one of the druid, ancestors, he's attacking like a leaf that he kind of like did some shit to. And he's like stabbing it because he's frustrated because he doesn't know if it, what he's doing is really affecting him. And he's kind of like guiding the youngster who's supposed to be taken, over and having this fight later on, to kind of like telling him like, these are the things that you would do. And like, this is how this is going to affect him. Back in the garage area or whatever, and the gas station, he's like spewing the black blood all over the place. And he's like doing all kinds of crazy things, like reacting to what's happened to him. And the poor gas attendant is just, it's like, oh man, he's gonna get killed, but he's so courteous. He's like, man, are you all right, man? We're gonna get you a doctor, man.
I'll tell you right now, when someone just starts spewing black blood everywhere and like flailing around on the ground, they're on their own.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's like all over the guy. Like I'm like calling the CDC. Like, what the fuck is going on? I got black blood on me.
Like, is this Ebola? What the hell's going on? Somebody get some hazmat suits down here quick.
So he's just slightly affected in that scene, and then he kills the guy, and then he goes over and continues his journey.
Yes, and as he continues his journey, just to let you know what a dick Julian Sands is, he just runs over a bunny on the side of the road, just obliterates it.
And he's like, welcome to the Wild West, or some shit like that. Some terrible fucking line.
Just keeps driving.
And I'm like, I've seen that scene so many times, and it like never dawned on me that he killed. I just thought it was just roadkill, but I was like, damn, he's just that evil. He just killed a cute-ass bunny. Hopefully it wasn't a real bunny, because, you know, there was a time where they would do terrible things to the animals.
Hopefully not, but yeah, I just love he just like, we're going to show you how evil he is, because only the evilest man alive would kill a helpless bunny.
You know, a helpless bunny that happens to be like in the middle, you know, like in Nevada, like in the middle of like the fucking desert. It's very strange. What was this bunny doing there? Bunnies in that kind of area?
In Texas and that there are, but I don't know about Nevada, like just rabbits running around in the middle of the desert. Seems like there wouldn't be a lot for him to eat out there.
I would think not. But he's heading over to where the map is telling him to go, and where the map is telling him to go is the destination of like each and every stone, which are in different places. And one of the places, I mean, he goes to like a carnival.
Yeah, he goes to the carnival and basically, you know, fucks with everybody in the freak show.
Yeah. He took advantage of that guy. The guy was trying to take advantage of him, and it was the other way around. He tricked him, because he's a trickster.
Yeah, here's the message of this movie. When Julian Sands shows up at your place and says, I want you to give me this stone, just fucking give it to him.
Just give it to him, but I feel like make sure you're not trying to get anything, because the first one actually was the fashion show. The lady in the fashion show, the gem, stone, whatever, is being used as an earring. And the showrunner, like the designer of the show, the fashion designer, she gets approached by him, and she thinks it's like going to be like a date from Destiny, because he's like weird and hot, and like asking her to like meet off to the side so they can discuss, you know, this freaking gem or whatnot. And she follows him to the roof, and they go to the roof, and, you know, he's like, I'm going to show you that I'm a warlock. And so he starts flying with her. I feel like you don't give him the stone when you're like midair.
Well, yeah, because he asked her, like, do you want me to put you down now? And she said, yes. So, of course,
in true dick form.
Yeah, in true, you know, Julian Sands form, he just drops her right where she's at, because technically he put her down like she asked.
Now, would this be called, can we just rename the movie Dick Lock?
Oh, that'd be good, because he is a kind of a dick in this.
He's a big-time dick.
He's just like, as you wish. Lets her fall, like, right through the skylight, smash into the stage, and you're like, oh, okay, she didn't look like she fell that far. She might be okay. Oh, no, there's a big geyser of blood just shot up from her.
Yeah, because the fucking glass from the ceiling is coming through. And I love the announcer of the, because it's during her show, the announcer's like, Jessica? Jessica's impaled, man. Do you not see that she's dead? Like, she's not coming out of that.
Yeah, there's like a 4.5 foot piece of glass sticking out of her. I don't think she's okay. I don't think you got to worry about that.
It's like, someone get a Band-Aid.
Yeah, and then he goes like to the freak show, I think. He gets there at the freak show, and again, you know, he tells at the freak show, you're just going to give this to me. And they're like, no, you're going to sell it. We want a big price from you. Well, of course, that doesn't work out so well. That just ends up with a bunch of dead freaks who, you know, they already had things rough enough. Then Julian Sands just murders them all. But my favorite one is where he goes to the guy and he tells him, like,
he's an art collector.
Yeah, and so he says, well, what would you trade for this? And he said, it would have to be something good. Julian says, well, I'll trade you the most, he says, like, the most exquisite piece of art you've ever seen. He's like, all right, I'll do that. So then he just transforms him into this weird, like, Picasso-looking sculpture that has his one eye, like, in it, and is like, his mouth is open, going, ah. Julian Sands just pulls his tongue out and then takes the stone and is like, well, there we go. Kept my word.
Yeah, he made him into a very unique piece of art.
Yeah. So, he goes all the way across country, murdering and all this, and at no point do they really, like, hey, we should send these... spoiler alert. Again, the girlfriend of the guy who, had to be killed and reborn, she's also one of the warriors that's going to have to be killed and reborn. So, she goes through the whole process too. And then they're out there like Luke and Leia practicing their Jedi powers on each other out there. They're flipping stones at each other and doing all this crazy shit by the lake. And
he has more practice than she does. And she kind of has like telekinetic powers because she's able to move things with her mind. I guess also he does too. But he has more practice than she does because, her father has been against this the whole time. Like, he's put the whole town against, the other family and his friend and their friends and, like, how they're all freaks and, like, demon lovers and whatnot because he was, like, totally afraid, of his heritage and, like, what was to come because it was an inevitable. It was, it's a 600-year mark and, we kind of didn't touch upon the whole time this is happening. There's like apocalyptic, like Armageddon style fucking signs. Like all the birds are falling from the sky. There's like blood rain. All the crazy things that, they say is going to happen during said time is actually happening just in the town, which is weird. It's not affecting the whole, like everywhere else.
Yeah.
It's just the town. Maybe because he's heading there.
Yeah, and it knows he's coming, so all the bad signs are going to happen there.
Which is, like, very convenient, because it's like, if you're one of the, like, ancestral, like, druid, people that are living there, you're like, oh, shit, fucking blood rain. I think this is one of the signs. But if you lived in, like, the next town over where nothing's happening, you would not know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a warning.
And in this town, you can tell, it looked like it was an old, like... set like they used to. It kind of looks like an old like Mayberry kind of set, it's just this weird like old looking town. And when Julian Sands gets there finally and they have their showdown, one of my favorite things on there is when one of the dads tries to shoot Julian Sands, shoots him with a gun. But then of course Julian Sands just does the old thing where he makes the little finger gun and just shoots him back, even though it's like the ultimate finger bang. He's just like bang, shoots the guy with his own little invisible finger gun.
Yeah, the finger gun kill is crazy.
Yeah, there are a lot of good kills in this movie. It's just there's not a lot of story to support them, which is pretty typical of any of these slasher movies.
Yeah, there's the hitchhiker girl that he picks up because he needs the map dried up. And he needs his next clue. So he kind of like, she's obsessed with her look. So he decides, I'm just going to scalp her.
Yeah, he just rips all of her hair off and just rubs it across the map to get more blood on it. Then just throws her out and leaves her by the side of the road.
She was mad annoying, though, I have to say. I probably would have kicked her ass out.
Yeah, I would have just thrown her out of the car. I wouldn't have scalped her. I don't need that kind of blood all over the car.
Yeah, the scalping was a little extra. But he needed to rejuvenate the fucking skin map.
Yeah, but could he not just, cut her a little bit? Because, no, like you said, he's a dick. He's got to do these things.
Yeah, he needed the whole scalp just to rub it all in there. And that's how he finally gets to this place. Like you said, everyone's against him. They're trying to stall because, the kids literally, they have, like, the son has been, like, doing his Jedi training for, like, 2 days. I feel like it's been probably, like, a day. But it's like 2 days, and then she barely has any training, so the fight is pretty brutal for them. It's realistic because don't you hate when you watch a movie and it's like some shit's gonna go down and like there's two people or somebody that needs to like be the it's like they're destined to be the person that's gonna go against the villain. And then they're like whipping the fucking villain's ass and they're doing all these crazy things. It's just like, you just found out about this like 10 hours ago and you just had like 1 hour of training, but you're a master now? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you suddenly turned into like the Shaolin master. Everybody suddenly knows Kung Fu and they're an expert. The best example of that is that movie, what's it called? House of the Dead, where the kids all go to a rave in the middle of the day.
Day rave.
And the day rave, and then find out that everybody's been killed by zombies. they immediately just all grab assault rifles, rocket launchers, everything, and they all know exactly how to load them, fire them perfectly. They never miss. They do all that. And I was like, what the hell kind of group of kids is this? They're all skilled with assault rifles, rocket launchers, knives. They know how to throw fucking knives. Like, okay, I get it. Anybody can probably figure out how to load a revolver, but do you know how to load an assault rifle and fire it accurately?
They're the children from the Warriors.
They must be, but that's just one of those examples of it where I was like, oh my god, they don't know how to do this so awesomely. They just turn into the fucking Matrix Warriors all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous, but it's pretty, like, you know, realistic, quote unquote, because, you know, there hasn't been a fight to the death, Armageddon, that we know of. It could have happened in a small town. There could be some demon fighting someone now as we speak that we don't know about.
And there's some crazy effects in this too. My favorite is where they must have like just projected the town in the background and have Julian Sands walking down the stairs. They painted some stairs blue, have him walking down the stairs like he's coming down from the top of the building. It's like, oh, that looks great. That looks like the local weather map. It'd be like the weatherman if they just decide, hey, look, here's Weatherman Bob, and he's standing on the lake. And they're like, hey, and they put him on the water. That's what it looks like.
You're not watching the movie for the effects.
No.
Definitely not. The acting is, you know, it's early 90s acting. It's fine. This is not an Academy Award winning nominee.
And Julian Sands is good in this, but he's just walking through this movie. He doesn't need... All he needs to do is just put on a suit, look cool, and say something badass every now and then. They're like, well, he's amazing. He doesn't have to do a lot of real acting in this movie. I've seen him in other things where he does. But in this, he just needs to put on a suit, look cool, and say something smart-ass every little bit. And you're like, oh, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a demon. He's not fucking... He has no emotions. You know, his one goal is to bring back, like, his best friend, the devil, so they can hang out. What happens after when the devil finally comes? Like, is your job over? Are you now, like, the devil's bitch? Like, do you get, like, high king, like status? Like,
yeah,
what happens to Julian Sands? We need the story of what happens when he's successful. That's the movie we need to see. He's able to bring the devil back, but now you have some other... That's the challenge where you have to, like, take both of them down.
There was a cartoon in the 90s called Earthworm Jim.
Yes!
Where they ask one of the guy that's kind of destroyed the universe, I don't remember his name now, and he goes, what the hell are you going to do once you've destroyed the entire universe? And he stops for a minute and goes, I don't know. Cackle wickedly amongst the ashes, I guess. It's like he had no plan of what he's going to do after he destroys the universe. It's like, I really want to see one where they're like, oh shit, now what do I do? There's no one. I was used to having like slaves and stuff that brought me dinner. How do I cook?
I has nothing. Oh, he's sitting in the room with his black suit and his fucking gems,
just looking out at the stars, like, yeah.
Accomplished. Check. Now I get to rest because, you know, I've just been like floating around waiting for 600 years to like actually do something. How does he not have like atrophy? I guess that's how he has to get reborn, because like he's just floating around until he actually gets like a corporeal way of, you know, his body back.
All right, so Warlock 2. How many knives are you going to give this one?
I want to give it 2.5 stone gems. Knives. I'm gonna give it 2 knives. The ending, is the ending anticlimactic? I have to say I do like the whole like fight in the end. It is predictable, but my favorite thing is the Carrie ending. I was gonna say the Freddy versus Jason ending, but it actually first happened in Carrie. And if there's a movie before Carrie, somebody let us know. But that's the first one that came to mind. In Carrie was a dream, but in here they've defeated the demon and they're going around collecting all the stones. And there's the one stone left, and she's kind of hesitant to taking the stone. I don't know why. She's kind of scared. But she's kind of hesitant to pick it up. And she goes to pick it up. And here comes fucking Julian's hand. Like demon hand. All like from the fiery depths, just a freaking skeleton, like charged skeleton hand, grabs the fucking gem and pulls it back into hell. I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous. But he's like, gotcha, bitch. I got one down. So next time when I come 600 years from now, I only gotta look for like the other 4.
Yep, we'll all be good then. So I would give this one myself. I'm just gonna go slightly less. I'm gonna go 1.5.
Damn, 1.5. That's some cold-blooded shit.
Yeah, I just don't have as much love for this movie as you do.
Oh my god, I'm so mad shocked. I had no idea that you were not like going for the ride of your life while you were watching the movie. I need to be looking at you more than the movie.
Well, it's fun, but it's the more you think about it, the more you're like, that doesn't really make any sense.
Well, I mean, so many movies don't make sense.
I know, but still, this one's a 1.5 knifer to me.
Okay, fine, I guess. I mean, I would say see it. It's on Tubi for free, if you have Tubi. Yeah. And, Warlock 2 Armageddon is what we saw this week for our second Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll come up with a better name at some point, but I just thought it'd be fun to cover all the second attempts at this, because so many of the movies, the first one was successful, then part 2 comes along, they're like, nah, forget everything, because now we're going to redo it. Just like with Friday the 13th. Part 2 comes in, let's forget about the mob, we've got an adult Jason for you.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2 was just like, oh yeah, this is kind of like the first one, but just a little bit different.
Ooh, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah, that one's a big can of worms. We'll save that one for later.
We need to do... I am dying to do Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I cannot wait. I have so many things to say about the film. I love the movie. It's so hated. I have nothing but love for it. I now am like really thinking and talking it through. I kind of probably do have like a hard-on for afternoon movies that I watched when I was a teenager. And that is one of them. And we'll end it right after you finish your thought. Go ahead.
We're definitely going to cover that one then.
Yeah. We're always save it for sometime in the spring.
Yeah.
Spring chickens. Anyways. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.